Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. Christmas Eve. It's Christmas. Woo! It's time. That was the unsexiest thing I could possibly do. But it's time to get sexy. This is my top 10 sexiest active Bruins. There's a lot of asterisks along all of that, but I was asked to do a sexy list. We're going to do a sexy list. Hold on, I'm trying to be sexy. I got the deep V going. The hair is a little messy, but, you know, just kind of... Is that doing it for anybody? Is that doing it for anybody? Let's set some ground rules, shall we? I'm only doing top 10 because I don't want to insult Carson Kuhlman by putting him at the bottom. I felt like that would be really rude. We're only doing players on the Boston Bruins roster, and I'm trying to stay away from guys who have only played a couple games this season. I'm trying to... I know that a lot of you guys who watch the channel are focused on the Boston Bruins and don't watch a lot of the Providence Bruins. So I don't want to start bringing up a bunch of names where you're like, I actually don't know really who that is. So we're going to leave that alone for now. We're going to do two things. We're going to go 10-1 with my hottest Bruins. And I'm going to give you a scenario that you would meet him in the wild as a normal person. It's going to explain itself when we get there. It might get a little too real. It might get a little weird. That's fine. Last rule. These are my opinions. Let's argue about them. But I don't know what makes men attractive to the masses. This is my opinion. You know, Idris Elba has only been ranked sexiest man alive or sexiest man of the year, whatever it is, once. Idris Elba. That guy could steal anybody. He could steal your wife. He could steal your husband. He could steal your old enough children. Anybody. He gonna snatch him right up. That is a sexy man. And if you can't admit that's a sexy man, I don't know what's wrong with you. Because that is a sexy man. Oh, God. Even before he speaks, that accent, woo! Woo! Did not realize I was so passionate about Idris Elba. You know, the year before him, we're going back like a decade. I did some research. The year before him, it was Blake Shelton. First of all, who? Second of all, you look at pictures of Blake Shelton, that guy looks like a gnome who was cursed by a wizard to be a slightly bigger gnome. And then you follow that up with Idris Elba. Come on. I don't get it. I don't get it. Here's a name a few of you might know. You know who has never been People's Magazine's sexiest man alive or sexiest of the year, whatever. My research wasn't that good. Tom fucking Brady. You know, Tom Brady. All this to say, my rankings are my opinion. And clearly, no one knows what the fuck they're talking about out in the real world. So we can take these as gospel. Number 10, your boy Derek Forbort. That's right, Forbes is making top 10. And it's because of this. And I know this surprised a lot of you because, A, he's not the hottest individual in the world, and B, my opinions on him as a player have not been always great. But he's kind of scary hot. And by scary hot, I don't mean so hot it's scary. I mean, he's kind of scary, and that makes him hot. Really setting the vibe on my tastes here. How you meet him. This is how you would meet Derek Forbort in the real world. He is a rebound after a way too recent breakup. That is how you're getting it on with Derek Forbort. Number 9, Nick Foligno. This is, I don't have a lot of pictures to like prove that he's a hottie, because he's like dad hot. You know what I'm talking about? Foligno is that guy that you just feel safe with, you know? Just feel like nothing's gonna hurt you. You know, how you meet him? You meet Foligno, you're at a conference. You're at a conference and you don't know what the hell you're doing. This has happened to me a few times. You don't know what the hell you're doing. No one's giving you a schedule. You're supposed to be a panelist at times, but you don't know when your panel is actually coming up. You don't know where you're supposed to sit. All of it. And this important looking guy in a real nice suit walks up and just starts showing you around, asks you questions about yourself, makes you feel like you're interesting, like you're funny, ends up spending the entire day next to you to make sure that you understand what you're doing and you don't feel out of place. That is, whoo. That's attractive. That's attractive right there. That's Daddy Foligno. We like that. Number 8, Taylor Hall. He needs the right lighting, but he can be kind of a smoke show. His suit game is strong. You meet Taylor Hall at a fancy party. We're talking big wigs everywhere. Lots of money getting thrown around. He's loud. He's cool. You think you're moving up in the world when you take Taylor Hall home. A few months later, you start to question that. Number 7 is a me thing. Jeremy Swayman. He's just so cute. I don't even have like a lot of pictures to work with Swayman because he's so new to the league. He's just such a cutie. How do you know him? You used to babysit him. You would never actually date him, but you gotta admit, he's a cutie. Number 6. You know, this might be a little too far down the list. And by that I mean he should maybe make top 5. But Brad Marchand. He is cool. He's jacked. He's funny. He's casual about it. And he's kind of mean. He's a good mixture of things that make you know that the night is going to get weird. It's going to get crazy. But in all the best ways. You meet Brad Marchand. You meet him in high school. He's the high school bully. And then he's the college bully. That's right, you went to the same college. And then he's the work bully. Somehow you also ended up going to the same place of employment. He's been a bully as long as you've known him, and you've known him forever. But then one day you get stuck in an elevator with him. And you actually have a really thoughtful conversation. And you decide, you know what the hell? Let's go grab some coffee. And again, good conversations. You start to realize that this guy, it's all just an act. He's not a bully at all. And you start to think back and realize that, well, why was he being a bully? Was he just doing it to be a dick? Or was there a bigger story behind it? And you start to realize that those elements of being a jerk were coming from a place of protecting his loved ones. Or getting others to just back down when they're not being what they should be. You're impressed. And before you know it, you're a power couple in the workplace. And people are afraid of you. And you love it. That is the Brad Marchand effect. Top 5! I am going to get crushed for this. I already know a couple names that have already reached out to me about how high this guy should be. But he's at number 5, Craig Smith. He's the bro you go out with all the time, and for some reason chicks just flock to him, and he doesn't care. You always credit it to the fact that he's so aloof. He's just so chill. But what's really happening is he just radiates sexy vibes. He's a 9 out of 10 on the Richter scale of sexy vibes. But he's so chill. He's cash, tooth in, tooth out, doesn't matter. That's preference, baby. How do you meet him? It's a New Year's Eve party. Yeah, it's coming up soon. It's a New Year's Eve party. And the whole party just seems to be circulating around this guy. He's loud, he's funny, but he doesn't care. He invites you into a game, doesn't know your name, but notices that you're not enjoying the party, you're not having a good time. He invites you into it, and boom, you follow him around all night. That's Craig Smith, right? That's Craig Smith right there. That's a sexy man. Number 4, David Pastrnak. Now, he gets to number 4 because of his suit game. Let's be honest. He got style. Is he a number 4 in the face and bod? That might be a little high. But that suit game is nice. How do you meet David Pastrnak? He's the loudest guy in an already packed bar. You can hear him over everyone. He's funny, but he knows it. He's cool, but he knows it. He's got a lot of skill, but he knows it. The question is never, would you take David Pastrnak home? It's, will he take you home? Number 3, this might surprise some people, Brandon Carlo. I mean, he's so obviously a stud, right? He's hot, but he flies under the radar. He's your solid guy that just kind of, you don't see a lot of pictures of him all the time. He plays a simple game. He just does his job and goes home. He's very simple. This is conflicting for me, though, because in college, I had, let's call it gentleman's disagreement with a few of the baseball players, which quickly turned into the entire baseball team. and it led to some physical aggression at moments. It happens. Every single guy, every single one on the baseball team looks or looked like a poor man's Carlo. So that's some conflicting feelings for me. But I think that just makes him hotter. How you met him? You've known him for years, but all of a sudden he's hot. Perfect. Number 2, a guy that I feel like a lot of people weren't talking about enough. I already tweeted about him, Charlie Coyle. He is shiver down your spine hot. The jawline, the suit game, and its classic suits too. That's the way you do it. I love a classic suit. Pasternak, let him have the fun, crazy stuff. You go with a classic gray 3-piece. Or in Bergeron's case, classic blue 3-piece. Oh, God, that's the way to go. You never feel sexier than when you're in a 3-piece suit. I have to get mine tailored or get a new one, really, because your boy has gained a little weight, but this isn't about me. It's about Coyle. Loves dogs, thicker than a snicker. I know you've seen that badonkadonk. The dude's got it all. Great smile, super fun to be around, the nicest guy. That I've told this story before. My buddy bought a Cameo to have Coyle roast me. He didn't do it on time. Like, Cameos have this, 2-week span. He didn't do it on time, and then he felt bad, so, 2 days after it expired, because the money already got returned, he hits up my buddy and goes, sorry, let me do it for your friend. It was for it was for my birthday. And he goes off for, 2 minutes. Cameos usually aren't that long. 2 minutes. He's supposed to be roasting me, and he's just the nicest fucking guy the whole time. He can't chirp, and that's fine. That's just not who he is. Nicest guy. When he gets pissed, though, it is legitimately scary, which is also hot. This guy's a stud. How you met him? Your parents knew each other. You practically grew up together. You've always liked each other, but neither of you were ever single at the same time. Sad. Maybe someday. Number 1. We all know who this is going to be. It's our Lord and Savior, Patrice Bergeron. Saint Patrice. He's the ultimate male. The reason global warming exists is because Patrice Bergeron gets hotter every year and he's heating up the fucking planet. This guy's aging like fine wine. He's the George Clooney of hockey players. He just gets sexier every year. He's a beauty. What do you even say that hasn't been said about this guy? The ultimate male. How you meet him? He's just a cool guy at work. Doesn't try to be, but he is. And he's a cool guy outside of work. Everyone loves him. And you just start to wonder. He's so perfect. You start to wonder, there's got to be something wrong with him, right? And then you see him naked. And you go, nope, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. He's so perfect. God, he's perfect. Look, I'm just saying, if it came out that God, the big God came down, he's like, I have put down the perfect human being. I put him on the planet. And it seems like only a small portion of the United States is recognizing how perfect he is. That's Patrice Bergeron, baby. It's the perfect creation. If you swing with the creationists and all that. Guys, that does it. Top 10. There you have it. I'm going to say this. I feel like I shouldn't have to, because all of you guys have always been great in the comments. I mean, sometimes we get passionate and heated about stuff, but it's never been insulting and anything bad. But I know doing a list like this sometimes invites people to say things that shouldn't be said. I don't think I have to explain that further. So let's just keep it clean and classy. That's all I'm saying. Thank you for joining me for this little ride. Again, it was requested. It was kind of fun to do, actually. My Google search history is kind of weird now, but we're going to ignore that. Velma's all excited over there. Give me your top 10 hotties below. Go Bees!